Hi guys, it's Chef Mahlengi. Welcome back. Today we're making lasagna and this is our budget 400 to 500 rands. And these are all South African products. We're going to use the Fetis and Monis lasagna sheets and I'll show you guys how I make them. The amount of beef that you want to use is up to you. Mine is less than 100 grams and some onion. Crushed garlic is optional. This is the spice that I will die with. Yeah, this is everything for me. Paprika, I love this one because it's smoked, and then beef flavored cubes. Please make sure that they are beef. Tomato paste is also essential so that our food does not turn black or too brown. And then I would prefer braai sauce, but I had steakhouse, so we're gonna use what we have. Lasagna does not require a lot of veggies like your peppers and carrots and stuff, so tomato and onion mix is your bet. It makes it very nice. And then sugar is essential because once you put tomato and tomato paste together, it's gonna be bitter, so we want to change that. And then for our sauce, this is the white sauce. Butter is our base, and then we're gonna use milk obviously because it has to be creamy, and some flour, any flour, cheese, cheddar cheese, very important. And then aromat or parmesan, it's up to you, but I love cheddar cheese. Aromat is just better than salt. This is mozzarella cheese. This is the cheese that we're gonna use on top. Some parsley. If you don't have it, it's okay. Any herb that you have is fine. So I'm gonna start off by chopping my onion. I realized I don't really need that much, so this is where we are starting. The step one is our mince. You have to learn to make it good. We're gonna start off with some oil. Don't use a lot because mince already has oil. It has fat actually, so please be mindful of that. The white stuff that you see is fat. So yeah, otherwise your lasagna is going to be dripping with oil, and oil does not make food taste better. So I'm just crumbling it before I put it in the pan so that at least the pieces are like separate. Only add your onions once the oil is heated, like very heated. Then you add your garlic if you have it and if you want it. Otherwise you can skip this step and just add your braai mix spice, paprika. Really, we don't need a lot of spices. Just remember to not add a lot of oil because when you dish up, it's going to show. The oil is gonna be everywhere. Now add your mince and fry it a little bit before you add the tomato paste. Just making sure that the flavors, the spices are combining and working together. Immediately after putting your tomato paste, you're going to add some sugar because it's bitter. This is not like tomato sauce. If you've never used it before, it's very bitter. Then we're gonna use some beef flavored cubes. I can bet on it. I just love how it changes the color, and just make sure you beat them down. Make sure they disappear. We don't want, because hey, it's very tricky, especially when you don't add them in water. It's very tricky. You might see them at the end of the mince, so just try to beat them down and make them disappear. Cook them and smash all of that. Next up, we're going to add our tomato and onion mix. I'm not very strict with this brand particularly. It's all gold rose, you have cool, you have checkers, for example. It's just tomato and onion, really. It's nothing much. Even if there's no onion, tomato and herbs, whatever the case may be, use it because it's just veggies. Lasagna is a high quality meal. You have to make sure that you buy proper brands. We're gonna add some water, not too much. And like I said, I'm very disappointed that I don't have the braai sauce. It just changes the whole thing. But it's fine, we can use Jimmy. Not too much of it. Add it on top of the tomato. Then you mix together nicely. As you're mixing, try to break the tomato because mine has big chunks. So yeah. Then we're gonna add parsley just for the freshness of it, And also, if you are a chef like myself, like if you are a cook, you love cooking, get used to herbs. They just elevate your cooking. We are done with the mince. It looks good. It's very nice and delicious. The next step 2, lasagna sheets. You're going to start off by adding some oil in water, and let me tell you something. They do mention, as you can see, the cooking instruction number 1, no need to boil, but if you don't boil them, they just taste weird. and I'm not for that. So this is them before. We're gonna boil them, and they're gonna stick, and it's okay. I'll show you the trick. I boiled, I think, about 10 of them, just in case I have I make a mistake, but I usually need 8. And then at the end of the day, they should be looking like this after about 7 minutes, depending on your stove, but just make sure that they dangle like this. Then you know you have done a good job. If they attach themselves to each other, separate. It's not a problem. Don't panic. Do not panic. White sauce, this is the 3rd step. Opening the show is going to be the butter. You can add as much butter as you want, really. It's just up to you. But I love 2 blocks. It's enough. Then we're going to add some flour and aromat mixed with milk. Enough milk, just make sure that the sauce is enough. Rather make more than less. Because once you start combining everything, it's going to be a mess. You add it in the pan. You make sure you keep whisking and whisking and whisking just to avoid lumps. Although it's not really a problem with lasagna, but just avoid them. As you can see, it's now starting to form, but it's too thick for lasagna. We're going to add milk. No water here. It's creamy. So whatever you do, if it's thickening, add milk. Sharp. And then you're going to add some cheese. If you're mixing together and you feel like the taste is kind of like going away, add more aromat. That's going to be your flavor. That's going to bring the flavor that you need. Sharp. But as you can see, the consistency is perfect. We're at the end of it, combining. This is the 4th step and it's very essential. We're going to start off with the mince that we prepared earlier on as the base. Remember, the mince is the flavor, so we start with the flavor, then we add the sheet. After this, we're going to add the white sauce on top of that. Just make sure you're very quick with this. You don't want it to dry, because once it starts drying, because it's flour, it's going to really dry and thicken. That's not what you want. After making sure that the lasagna sheet is covered, and don't be worried about how dirty it looks. It's messy. Messy things taste really good, and I can promise you that. Plus, you're gonna cover it up. It's not a problem. Let's add mince. I just want to advise you, once you're done with the first step, that is the most important one, as well as the end off. So you could have added a sheet here, it's not a problem, but I'm going to add the sauce. The inside is not really tricky at all. And then you just keep adding and adding and adding and adding until you get to the end. The end must be the white sauce on top of the mince. Always. It just always looks so much better. We're gonna add the mozzarella cheese. Make sure that you feel every single corner. Don't go cheap on the mozzarella, because you'll be very shocked what it can do on top. It might not melt if it's a low quality cheese, so just buy a good product. Then you're gonna add the parsley on top. This is called garnishing, just to make something look pretty and good. We're gonna add it in the oven at the highest heat of them all, because everything is cooked. The only thing is to melt the cheese, so it doesn't matter. Always watch it. A burnt lasagna is very irresponsible of you. It doesn't usually burn, so you just keep looking at it. Make sure that the cheese is well done, like so, and we're done. This is the end of your class, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna cut it nicely. Make sure that the knife is standing up a little bit, because they are lasagna sheets. They are very tricky. I always say it doesn't matter how you plate the lasagna, because once the flavors are blended and they're nice and you follow the instructions, you're good. Doesn't matter. I had to come here because I made a video on TikTok and it has about 600 and something thousand views, and you guys didn't hear me because I was speaking Tsonga, and my TikTok is for my Tsonga people, so I want to maintain that. But if you want something, just always come to my YouTube. You can comment down below and ask me what you want to see next, and I'll come and make it for you guys. I'm struggling to be consistent here. It just takes a lot of work than TikTok. Otherwise, I love you. Bye.